Hello, everyone, and welcome to Anime Fans Give Back to Japan. This is our second 24-hour marathon. My name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
My name is Steve.
And my name is Jason.
To kind of give you an idea of what we'll be doing today. First off, if you have commercials, we apologize. Ustream has them. If you have Firefox, though, that might be a good way around it. They have something called AdBlock. I would recommend it, though, for this, if you want to enjoy the full 24 hours. But I will be handling most of the talking to you. Jason here is going to be the tech guy, so if there's problems, we'll be telling Jason. Steve is going to be talking to all you guys out there in the chat room.
Yeah, those people over there.
Those people over there.
I'll be talking to those people over there.
And Ed is going to be doing everything else.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And for those who don't know, we do the One Piece podcast regularly. We've done the Full Metal podcast. We've done lots of other podcasts, too many.
We did that April Fool's Bleach podcast.
We did that April Fool's Bleach podcast.
That we did.
Ed wasn't able to join us last year, but we have him.
Well, I was on for about 18 of the 24 hours last year.
That's true, but you weren't here in the room
That's
with
right.
us.
I was in Washington, D.C.
You're one of those little people on the screen.
Yeah, you were just one of the little people on the screen.
Now I'm big guy. Big person.
So for those who don't know, we are raising money for Japan for the victims of the 2011 Japanese earthquake and tsunami. We're going to be going through a lot of the causes and what we're doing throughout the night. We've been putting up a schedule, as you may have seen for the last half hour. Every hour we're also going to put up a schedule as to what is next, because it's daylight savings time tonight, just to make things extra confusing. And we're also going to be bringing in some calls soon from across the globe, I guess. We have staff from... we have one in Japan and one in LA who's going to be calling in soon. But it was such an honor to do this last year. Mm-hmm. I don't know about... I know you two were here, and Ed, even for 18 hours is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, you slept, which I'm
could,
jealous of.
I wish I could post that picture of us up from last year.
Yeah. But you have a very cool new setup here this year, too.
Yes.
So there should be there'll be no problems this year, presumably.
Yeah, well,
Knock
this
on
is
wood.
just the beginning.
Yeah, this is the beginning, but we're gonna hope the best.
I can't help but wonder how many times it's gonna sound like that.
And actually, we have Greg here in Japan with us.
Now, if you're not familiar with Greg, you may know him from his website, thegrandline.com, or the old Ultimate DBZ info page.
Yes, that might be from 1999. But, hey, Greg.
Hey, how's it going?
That's me.
That is
Hey.
you.
I'm on TV.
Hi, Greg.
Hey guys, how you doing?
So how is it out there in Fukui at 7:03 in the morning? 7:03 in the morning.
It's a gorgeous morning. I've got a set of brand new cameras this year, so things should look really nicely. I can actually show you what it looks like outside in Japan,
Wow.
and that's kind of I don't know, the gimmick of what we're going to try to do that's a little bit different this year. It was kind of a test. I don't know if you're a fan of the One Piece podcast, if you're listening or not, but we tried to do something special this year for Jump Festa, and we brought you Jump Festa live. And we're going to try. That was a success. It was a huge success, and we're going to try to do that for Anime Fans Get Back to Japan too.
Yeah. So we have some really cool stuff planned for later with you, Greg.
Yeah.
And you want to tell us a little bit about what last year was like for you, and kind of we never really got a chance to talk about just the press coverage, the incredible amounts of press this got as well.
Yeah, this I tried to keep up with it a little bit on the Anime Fans Get Back to Japan Facebook page. If you're not a fan or you haven't liked the page, please do, because that will help you keep you updated what we do with Anime Fans Get Back to Japan throughout the
Steve's
year.
updating it right now.
Great, and boy, it was just a whirlwind. I mean, maybe the major news outlets, haven't hit on it in the U.S. just yet. But I say give us some time, and we'll be around. Overseas we had Anime News Network gave us some great coverage, and I believe we're collaborating with them, so you can look forward to some things this year as well. But over here on this side, it's been amazing. The coverage has just been remarkable, and let's see, we've done TV for a number of stations. We've been in newspapers. will be in a newspaper sometime this week, and it's a big one. It's the Mainichi Shimbun. You've probably heard of that because it's a major one overseas even. And because it's so big, it's not quite the national. It's the regional, which means that it will be covered in about 3 or 4 prefectures in Japan. So there are a lot of people. We've been in magazines. We've been in radio. I think we've got basically everything covered. This is a great way for us to give back to Japanese people. And the most important thing is, like, do they know that we're doing this? Yes, they're learning more and more about what we're doing, and it gets bigger every year. So please stick with us and please give your support to Japan.
And on that note, I think we should look at the big board, which is going to be behind Jason's head here. We have the total, including last year's, at the top. For those who don't know, we made a total of $30,700 over the course of basically a week. And most of that, large majority, within the 24 hours we were on the air. So far, just in the last week or two, we have made $1,600 already, in addition to that.
Yeah.
A lot of that was in the last couple days as well. So thank you all out there for donating. I hope it is as crazy as last year and how many times we changed that board. We also have Jammer calling in, so you can take that. You can answer for both. Well, we'll move one video and then... Well, this is going to be the first real test
Disable your
if
cookies.
this works.
This is called...
Okay, well, while he does that...
Are we going to go Brady Bunch here?
I think we
Yes.
should.
There we go.
What kind of... Greg, go down. Point down.
Oh, hi, Jammer. Well, you don't have to
Hey,
go video
everyone.
right now, Jammer. But Jammer is out there in L.A., I believe. Is that...
Yes.
What country is that in?
That is in California, for those of you who don't know.
I
I
didn't
couldn't
realize
come
that
up
was
with
a
a joke.
country.
It is a country.
Well, Jason's going to, for the
May as
first
well
time,
be.
be doing this. Let's see if this
Yeah,
works.
this is on the fly.
You said you could do this on the fly. We're professionals here. Right away. Right
Top of
away.
his head.
How's it going, Greg? And world?
Hey, Jammer, what's up down there?
I didn't realize California was below Japan. But, you learn a new thing.
And I didn't know we were going to have the dude on.
That's cool.
Sorry, Jammer, that's the only joke I'm going to
I don't look like the dude, so you can't make that joke unless it's just my voice.
But when I close my eyes, I hear the dude.
It's true. Okay, Greg, you can stop doing that. Whenever you want.
I'm trying to line up. Yep, let's see if I can do that. All right.
Hey,
All right,
Greg,
hope
Greg's
that
trying to get donations here. He's
Yeah.
trying to entertain
Yes,
the-
Greg, as we did last year. Greg, are we doing the you could do a ridiculous thing again, and we'll try and if we get to a certain number by a certain time.
What did I do last year? Did I take my hat off? Or
No,
something?
didn't you like move your lip or something? I don't remember what it was. Or something.
Wow.
That yeah, on Facebook. That was fun. That was I flexed my tongue, which is I don't know. I've only met a couple, maybe 2 other people in my lifetime that can do that. But yeah, I can flex my tongue, which is really strange. People are like, "You're just rolling it." It's like, no, I'm flexing my tongue. So yeah, if you want to see me flex my tongue, I hope to see that up to at least 40,000
By when?
soon. Yeah.
Soon? Is there any deadline?
Well, soon is relatively speaking, so I didn't want to be too optimistic or too pessimistic. But yeah, when we see that up to 40,000, I will flex my tongue.
Okay. Well, I think at this point, I think now we have something to look
Yeah.
forward to.
I just wanted to
Yes.
say briefly, as you just saw, if we have more people call in, just give us like
A
a
second.
minute to just adjust the video. It will be done. It's a new program, but it's working out beautifully.
Maybe
I
we
think.
should say this. It is. I have to really give it to Jason first off. You'll see how awesome it is later in the program, especially when we start playing video games and we get really bored. Beyond that, speaking of that, this is a 24-hour podcast, so
Like,
we
we're
are
here
going.
for a day.
You are going to be seeing us go completely insane, and
I feel like I should just document
It'll be entertaining. It's worth money.
it is. It is.
I should document like every hour, like a fly.
And unlike last year, where my computer got stolen and everything got taken from it, we have Jason who's going to be recording all of this, and it will be on YouTube within the next couple weeks, probably.
Fortunately, Jason's computer is non-portable.
Yeah.
So, but don't bring it to a movie theater.
I
You guys
won't.
get
I
the-
won't.
Don't. It's like,
No, you
let
guys are
it
jinxing
stop you.
Seriously, stop. You guys are jinxing it. Please stop.
exactly.
Everything's gonna get stolen now, thanks because you mentioned it.
Yeah. We are starting out soon with Stephanie Young, who's going to be joining us in 20 minutes. We have a crazy lineup.
Can I just go over some of like the conduct and stuff?
Conduct?
the chat.
Because I'm the chat. Also, guys in the chat, feel free to send questions. I'll try to get through as much as I can.
This is your guy for
The
that.
chat is crazy, and a lot of people are in it. So if I missed your questions, sorry. I'll try to pick some really good ones. And this is when you guys all hate me, but let's avoid the whole say blank as blank. Only because they only have so much time, and definitely want to get some questions across. Definitely want to talk about Japan, their careers, and likewise. But hell, like maybe we'll try to get some in if it's appropriate. But
Yeah, I'm sure
I don't
we'll
want to
be
bring a
tired
guest
out
on
to.
and be like, speak better.
What was that?
Say
these
this
were yours.
line from my yaoi. You know, let's not get into that.
Okay, so first off, I think someone is. Well, what are we looking at from Greg?
Oh yeah, Greg. Well,
Okay, Steve.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Please don't turn this into a competition.
Okay, while Steve is doing that, we have a lot of new guests that have just been added within the last 24 hours. So why don't we go through some of the new people?
Everyone just realized how awesome this was going to be, and everyone had to be on.
Yeah, it's exactly what it was. And we got emails recently, and we haven't gotten replies yet, but we might have even more people than are on here. Things are always subject to change, either for the better or for the worse, for those who were with us.
Yeah.
You
And-
take the good, you take the bad, take them both.
Yeah, and with being live, you
Facts.
never know
Facts
what's going to
alive.
happen.
Facts alive.
Yeah, so yeah, you'll know. There'll probably be someone, but hopefully, I'm very optimistic this year.
Yeah.
But some new people who've come on the last couple weeks. We have Chris Sabat, who we announced a while ago, but we now have a time for, and that's going to be at 6:30. So that's just in another hour.
It's
hour and
possible
a
he
half.
forgot he agreed to be on.
It's possible.
And
Maybe
it's a-
he forgot we had those new.
and it's a
pictures
good thing
or
he's not
something.
here in person, so he's not going to do anything wrong to
With
our
the mic.
microphone. This
Yeah.
time.
That mic has been violated by Chris Sabat.
Far,
couple of
far
times.
away from his crotch.
Way more than I would have preferred. Recently, we also announced Todd Habercorn was going to be joining us. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I know a lot of people love Mr. Habercorn, and we're very happy to have him on. Since
Team Habercorn, I guess.
he voices
People
everyone in
represent
Funimation. So
Yeah,
it's
he's-
probably-
Sergeant Frog.
He's the main character.
He's Sergeant
Yes.
Frog. I think that's.
He's
That's his claim to fame.
That's his claim to fame, but like
From
no one
us in
cares.
this room.
Yeah, we like Sergeant Frog, but I don't know.
He's Koza.
We also
Android 19.
scheduled Miley Flanagan. She'll be in at 8:30. That's someone else we also announced, but we now have a time for.
That was a very ironic thing of the guys from the One Piece podcast hanging out and chilling with Miley Flanagan.
I
That was
think
a
we
lot
should
of fun.
only talk about Naruto during that time.
I've seen a lot of it. I can talk about it.
There you go.
Ed,
We have
Ed will
someone.
be doing that.
Well, we also added Brina.
Well, we'll get to that. I'm going in order.
Oh, okay.
But thank
Sorry.
you. No, it's
Thought you-
okay. I want to talk about this a little. Do you want to talk, Greg, about the moment of silence, or you want to leave that to be a surprise for when we actually don't?
Yeah, just in case things don't quite work out,
Okay.
why don't we leave it as hopefully a surprise?
Right,
But,
but 12:30
we,
will be.
we may have something really cool.
Yeah, it'll be solemn and
It'll be-
cool, and it's.
It's 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time.
It starts at 12:30 a.m. The moment it happened is 12:46 Eastern Time. 12:46 a.m. Eastern Time. So there will likely be no noise from us during that time. Beyond that, Stephanie Shea, we also announced, she's going to be on at 1:30 a.m. Eastern, 10:30 p.m. Pacific. Nice to have her back. She does We Heart Japan, which is also a
Yes.
really great cause. And for
She's
those,
been involved in a lot of the great LA dubs that have come out in the last few years.
and for those actually who got to see the fundraising for Japan effort in LA just a few months ago, we actually did a podcast for them. It's available on the site if you don't get sick of our voices by the end of today, which is very likely that you will. You could check out that interview, and they also had the whole cast of Cowboy Bebop do this reading, and we're going to go through that a little later. So let's continue going through some new announcements. Big one, Mike Sinner Nicholas will be joining us. Who's Mike Sinner Nicholas? Steve, you want to tell the people out there?
He's Dean.
He's Dean Venture.
Dean Venture.
He's also the lead in Summer Wars.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
For anime fans out there.
He's also in the 4 Kids dub of One Piece.
Okay. So
Nobody wants to hear about that.
no,
Well, he wasn't bad in that. Come on, give him some
No,
credit.
we're not saying.
no, we're just saying
He
it's
was
for
like the
kids.
diamond in the rough.
Guilt by association.
Yes.
We don't have any other New York voice actors on because now it's gonna be awkward. It's like, oh yeah, I heard the shit you were talking about us. Our next caller.
Hi, David Moo.
We need to go to that bar that he owns.
Yeah,
and
he.
just talk to him.
Mike Sinner Nicholas will be on at 4:30 a.m. Eastern, 12:30 a.m. Pacific. Ruben Langdon, who is a stunt actor and voice actor for many video games out there, he'll be on at 5 a.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. Pacific, so a reason to stay up, which is for all of those guys. Greg, I think we'll have you on at 5:30 to talk some food.
All sorts of stuff. It's going to be a smorgasbord of Japanese goodness. I'm going to try to hopefully get everybody genki and happy and energetic. And we're going to talk about some local food in Fukui that's popular here. We got some good meaty dishes and things. Also, I really wanted to do a segment where I could actually where I could almost like share my screen and give kind of like fun interactive lectures on Japan because of certain things that have happened related to the podcast and myself that are really wonderful, good things. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. I've just been extremely busy. Some of you fans of the podcast might know what I'm talking about, but I don't have anything prepped as far as really like nice, professional, fun things to talk about. But of course, there's plenty of things to talk about. I have anecdotes aplenty, so we're going to have some fun. So please stay out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Going on with new additions, we have Spike Spencer at 9:30 a.m. We, of course, announced him earlier. We have a time slot for him. We also, at 12:30 a.m., this is a big new one, Brina Palencia, as you said earlier.
Brina.
You want to talk about stuff she's done? Since we haven't really had to...
She does these
face of GameStop.
voiceovers for these Japanese cartoons.
She's the face of GameStop TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Voice of Tony Chopper.
So this is the big one I want to talk about. We announced this a little bit on our press release, the most recent one, but we're doing a Cowboy Bebop panel. This is incredible with Steve Bloom, voice of Spike. We have Bo Billingsley, voice of Jet. Wendy Lee, voice of Faye, which I now know how to spell Faye.
And Wendy.
And Wendy. Melissa Fawn, who voiced Ed. We'll have all four of them. Not only will they be on to talk about Cowboy Bebop and any questions you out there may have that Steve could field for you guys, but we'll also be reading through the episode Toys in the Attic. That's going to be unbelievable.
Like a live reading. Like
a live reading.
That script.
Not only that, but if you donate over $300, the highest donor during that 2-hour block could win an autographed script of the Cowboy Bebop movie with from the entire cast, the director, everyone.
And I imagine if people have given equal amounts, it's the highest. It'd be a random drawing at that point.
Yeah, I think we'd have to do a random drawing at that point. So do a weird amount. Do something that ends at like a 57 or something.
This isn't the Price is Right.
Yeah, Price is Right. Just put $1 over.
$1 over. But they won't know how much the person put.
True.
Yes. So that's going to be incredibly exciting. That really, I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully, we'll all be mentally there.
That's really cool, guys. I'm glad you. That's freaking awesome, actually.
Yeah.
It is.
That's really awesome.
I'm really hoping
And
I
that's
don't
all
like
on
fangasm
Sunday.
again. It's all on Sunday, yes. And those have been all the changes. Of course, you can check the schedule for the full list, and we'll be putting it up every hour. Thanks again to everyone who will be coming on over the next couple hours.
Oh, and by the way, Greg, what are we eating right now?
Yeah, I can't read Japanese, which is the ironic
Flake?
part of this.
Something
Kellogg's,
flake?
Get my flakes.
Flaku.
Kellogg's
Yummy.
wheat flakes, and the nutritional value of them is completely off balance by the fact that they are coated in brown sugar from Okinawa.
Even better.
Steve, what are we picking right now?
What?
That was terrible.
So kind of like chocolate frosted sugar buns.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. So what are you guys looking forward to?
When this
Not
ends.
sleeping?
No.
Now, I'm really looking forward to talking to the cast of Cowboy Bebop, because I don't think I've ever heard podcasts with them, and they don't do many appearances. So.
They don't. I don't think I've heard Melissa Fon or Bo Billingsley on anything before.
Yeah.
Steve Bloom has definitely been more. I've seen him in more places.
He was at
recently,
Anime
which is
Expo
good.
the year we were there.
And he was
Right.
at Anime USA, the first one we all
Right.
That's right.
together.
Yeah, it was at that uncensored panel. That wasn't that good. Not them. It was the people in the audience.
No, it wasn't the guest's fault either.
No.
They were actually funny. that guy behind us.
So why don't we start? We got 10 minutes until Stephanie Young is on. Why don't you guys start by asking questions? Let us know what you're looking forward to, and make sure to also go out there. So this is pressure on Steve.
Yeah, Zach, you should have not mentioned. Oh, yes, we have a lot of time to kill.
We don't have a lot. We got 10 minutes until Stephanie Young.
I know what you guys are thinking.
Yeah, I just want to say this right now. Give it time because there is a 15-second delay between what we're doing and the output.
Yes, there's exactly
So,
15
yes.
seconds. So if you count, that you determined it was exactly 15 seconds, right?
That's just the normal thing for streaming.
Oh,
We
yeah?
usually give it 15 seconds.
I've learned. So that's gonna be fun. Yes, we will be making Steve sing the One Piece rap, also Kaizoku Muso rap, which doesn't make sense. I feel like we have to do that right before the Cowboy Bebop people come.
Yeah. I'm up.
No, I'm good. I'll do the rap for money.
Are we doing a rap again this year?
So he's doing it for
Just
money.
have to.
So
I'll do it if those numbers go up.
what number do you want that to hit, and by what point will you sing the rap?
We don't want to give people incentive not to.
No, we should be doing it for Japan.
We're doing it for Japan.
But me, like a rap is not necessary. But I'll do it if the people out there care about Japan.
So what number do you want that to get to?
45,000.
45,000. No.
Good choice.
And it appears we've already received
$32,715.
$415.
Oh wow, that's went up. Oh yeah, you have to. Oh, you're our money checker. Ed is now our designated money checker. So do you want to go up and change
So
the
we're
big
now
bill?
updating our current donations.
So our current donation is $32,715. Can you do the math there, or you want me to?
I feel like if we get a certain amount of donations, we need to bring out 80s Robot and add him to the cast.
We also have an 80s robot.
Where's the
back there.
Kleenex?
Oh, I got it.
Yay.
Also,
So it's $440 extra.
yeah, so an extra 440. So
It's
very
not
cool.
even like a few hours in and already we're failing at math.
What's
This
the total?
Is fantastic.
People,
fine.
someone suggested I should draw
What's the total? It's
something.
on my computer.
32,715.
Also, while we're starting here,
Yes.
if you don't mind, just as somebody who lives in Japan, generally I think the atmosphere this year is going to be a lot more fun. But we do want to remind people that this is for a very serious cause.
Yes.
And for something that we've only really learned the weight of as we've gone through this first year since the quake. I
440.
probably mentioned last year that
441.
the reactors were not in very good states, perhaps and probably not as good as everyone, the news, the media was saying. And that came from basically taking the foreign media, the Japanese media, talking to experts as well, and just kind of gathering what there's the real story, the real news, what the real situation was somewhere in the middle of all of that kind of calamity. And it wasn't very good. As far as for the whole country, it's not that horrific. As far as where people living very far away, will there be fallout? Will there be horrific radiation? No, but for the affected areas, it remains remarkably serious. All right, and what we want people to do is to get the word out about this cause and what we're doing here. All right. Basically, we're in the viral age. All right. Start posting about this. If you haven't, please do. If you have, please do it again. Facebook, Twitter, anything you can think of to get the word out about what we're doing here, please do. It is important that we get donations in. We made this a huge success last year, and as much as I'd like to say, well, yeah, we gathered everybody and we put on this 24-hour podcast. It was amazing. We didn't give any of that money ourselves, guys. I mean, that's ridiculous. We did. Yeah. Okay, cut that part. But no, we gave some of the money ourselves, but obviously we didn't give $30,000 ourselves. You guys, everyone watching there, listening, reading, looking, viewing, you made this the success that it was, and you can do it again. So please spread the word about what we're doing over the next 24 hours.
But yeah, that's also what you're correct yourself earlier. We will be giving some money because we're bringing back the Simpsons donations this year.
And there actually is a box with The Simpsons on it, which, believe it or not, Jason had.
Jason owns it.
Jason owned it. So every time we make a Simpsons reference, we are putting $1 in the tray. And at the end of the night, that amount will be donated by the three of us. If only we could deliver cash to Japan. Should I do that for you, Greg? Or you're the one that needs it? No, but we were just watching the Frontline documentary on what was going on in Japan. It's just incredible the intricacies of what happened.
It came out a couple weeks ago. Just go to frontline.org if you have an hour to spare after this is over.
After this is over,
Make sure to watch it. It's harrowing, really.
it is. It's really incredible what happened at the Fukushima Daiichi plant. The people who went in there and basically sacrificed their lives to save the people of Japan. It sounds like a novel or fiction or something, but it's very real. And it's really incredible. So yeah, not only there was what was the podcast on the Frontline documentary?
Oh, it was Fresh Air. It's an NPR radio show, but there's a podcast of it. If you go to freshair.npr.org and go back, I think it's the last week of February, they had one of the directors on, and they talked to him for about 45 minutes, and it's also really really informative.
Yeah, so and one of the things I think we should also bring away from this is really to have everyone inform themselves on this. And also just, it was weird, Greg, I don't know if you heard about, I think you heard about this, but on the East Coast we had a very, very, very small earthquake a couple months ago.
It was in August, actually.
August?
I was in school.
Yeah, I know, I was in school too. So.
A couple months ago, back in
I remember
August.
that Facebook exploded.
Yeah,
Friend.
so it's incredible. That was what was that, a 4 or 6?
4 point something.
It was a
I
4
wouldn't
point
know
something?
because
Yeah.
I didn't feel it.
But it was, I think the epicenter was in West Virginia, and it was actually, it like really did some damage. And Greg, I think we talked about this a little last year about how when your in-laws came to the United States, they were like, oh, these houses, they look like they're so weakly built. So it's kind of incredible how much Japan endured from what happened on March 11th, and how much they were able to overcome what happened, and how quickly they were able to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, Japan is obviously covering that extensively right now, and we're just looking at what's to come. And this is not to get anyone really worried or worked up, but it is a reality, and it is going to happen sometime again. And this is unfortunately not the quote-unquote big one, because it was not centered around the Kanto area, which is where they're waiting for the next basically big Tokyo earthquake, which they've said about goes back about 10 years. They said that there will be one in the next 50 years. So we're 10 years into that, so it's now 40 years. Well, having come since this earthquake, they said the next big one will probably be sometime in the next 4 years. So that's important to keep in mind about what's going on with respect to safety preparation and obviously the nuclear reactors as well. As it stands, there are only 2 active in the country, and the entire country is working together on an energy conservation program, which is basically lights are off at work. A lot of stores have their lights off at night in storefronts. And it's quite a different country than it was a year ago. It's kind of in the same way that, I don't mean to draw comparisons, but I mean, the natural disaster is obviously very different, but the same way that 9/11 changed America almost in a very different way, this disaster has also changed the country and how people have come together. Of course, the television stations are back to normal. The commercials are back to normal. But if we have some time, I'll share some of the commercials. Some of them are really, really quite funny, actually, that ran, and they became their own kind of subculture because there was only a set of like 5 commercials that ran the entire week after the earthquake. But it's interesting how it's changed the country and how there's some ways they won't go back to what it was before the quake. Especially as we face, these energy problems around the world. How do we do clean, effective energy and how does Japan face that with all of their nuclear reactors that are now not useless but being reevaluated?
Okay.
I'm also hearing some feedback. I just want to make sure. Okay.
That keeps going off. Whenever I actually say it, it turns off.
There you go.
So coming up next is Stephanie Young. She'll probably be calling in.
Yeah, I'd also like to suggest, I use this site to follow along and look up some people, but if you guys are curious what roles some of our guests play, I use BehindTheVoiceActors.com. It's a pretty good site. It's pretty much accurate, and they list all the roles, and pictures of the characters go with them, so it's really easy to figure out who's who.
And after that, we're going to have the Abridged folks, which Masako X, Kazuneko, and Little Karibo, so that's going to be a lot of fun as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, going into this, Greg,
Yeah.
so you're going to be on for the early morning slot, or do you two want to stick around, or are you two good to go for the moment?
I'll stick around for the moment. I'm still good here.
All right.
It's still at 7:30.
So, Greg, for you may not know, but Stephanie Young plays Robin on One Piece.
Yeah, I looked that up for a couple interviews that came around, and I was trying to tell them who was going to be on the podcast. And I said, "Hey, we've got basically everybody from One Piece," and they're like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I had to check up on everybody in our secret schedule, which is now public. And I saw that and I said, "Well, that's cool. All right, so we've got an archaeologist starting things off."
That seems appropriate for some reason.
Yes, because all actors, their occupation is what their characters do.
Of course, that's how they get the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.